We welcome you inside the House of Blue on the campus of Norcross High School. It is the On the Radar Hoops Tip-Off Classic, the finale. It has been a fun day. Game number 5 will feature the host Norcross Blue Devils and the Gainesville Red Elephants. I'm Joel Hillsman, joined by Lewis Preston and Coach Mario Mays, and it's hot physically in the gym. I think it's going to get a little hotter when these two teams line up. Mario, Lewis, looking forward to working with you guys.
Yes, indeed.
Before we jump into our keys of the game, what are you expecting to see blindly tonight?
I just think it's going to be a great matchup. You got two great programs. Norcross has been a perennial power here in the state. Gainesville has also had some great basketball the last couple of years. They've been building, and they're to the point with their seniors that they're ready to take that next step, so I'm excited, man.
Lewis, your thoughts just blindly before we get into it.
I just think it's going to be a 94-foot game. You got two teams that like to press, get up and down the floor, try to use their defense to create some offense. Both teams with their depth, it's going to be very interesting to see who's able to impose their will on the other one here tonight.
Two teams that are in two different classifications, Norcross in the highest in Georgia at 7A, Gainesville in 6A. Let's take a look at the 6A squad, the Gainesville Red Elephants. Coach Preston, let's take a look at their keys to the stats. One thing, keys to tonight's game. One thing, they're returning a seasoned bunch of seniors now. Let's break down those keys.
Well, when you look at Gainesville, you know, one of the main things is maximizing and handling the pressure, setting the tone early on the road, and then also the triple Bs, Bledson, Buffen, and Bailey. Got to make sure that those guys are steady for them if they want to come and get a huge road win here in Norcross tonight.
Does that go along with Big Baller Brand?
I'm not going to say anything about that.
For that.
I'm not getting sued.
All right, let's move over to Mario. Mario, this Norcross team, you know Jesse McMillan puts together a fine team every year. Let's look at the Norcross keys.
Well, tonight for Norcross, Kyle Sturdivant has to be steady. He controls the team, controls the tempo. Also, they'll have to match the pressure with pressure from Gainesville. And then the depth, the Blue Devil depth. I think that's going to be interesting to see what happens from that standpoint tonight for Norcross.
And I think just across the state, especially with your more elite teams, depth is kind of standing out.
Yes.
Oh,
Wearing
definitely.
teams down, bodies. Anytime you got extra bodies, it makes it hard on the other team.
All right, we're about 2 minutes from tip. We'll have it for you here. The SUVTV.com. On the other side, it is Gainesville. It is Norcross in the finale of the On the Radar Hoops Tip-Off Classic. The SUVTV.com. Welcome back inside the House of Blue for the On the Radar Hoops Tip-Off Classic. Joining me is Lewis Preston, Mario Mays, I'm Joel Hillsman, and we're about 30 seconds away from the tip-off. Speaking of the tip-off, the Atlanta Tip-Off Club annually recognizes the top high school and college players, coaches, officials, and administration in Metro Atlanta and the state of Georgia. Join the ATOC, nominate players and coaches, or learn more at atltipoff.com. Well, the starting lineup is ready for both teams. First for the visitors, it'll be the Gainesville Red Elephants. They'll go with number 0, Bailey Minor, the senior at 6 feet 6 inches. It'll be one of the twins, Gerald Rosser, number 2. He's coming in a senior at 6'7". Then it'll be Brent Kelly, number 4, the junior, 5'10". And Yes, no KJ Buffen in the starting lineup, so we'll see how effective that is off the bench. Xavier Bledson, the senior, 6'4", number 13, will get the start, and Kajon Hale, a senior, 5'10", number 3, for the Gainesville Red Elephants. Norcross, they already come in with a 2-0 record on the year, and they've beaten a pair of Groves. They defeated Miller and Walnut Grove. Their starting lineup will be number 1, Alonzo Johnson at the guard spot, number 3, Kyle Sturdivant. It'll be number 5, Joseph Topping, number 11, Brandon Boston, and number 12, Dalvin White. Now, we'll take a quick break and have the tip-off for you on the other side. Stat Row, view you sports highlights whenever, wherever. Stat Row, as they get ready to announce the starters. Mario, when you have a team as seasoned as Gainesville, I saw DeMarcus Simons, he's here in the crowd. He's been gone 2 years, and these guys have played with him. So their season, their experience, they have not meet the summit. This is your senior year. You're opening the season against Norcross. Do you feel a little bit of extra pressure, or how do you approach that with so much experience?
I think these guys have handled it pretty good. This team came to Wheeler, I want to say 2 years ago when Simon was a senior for 4 quarters. And right in the 4th quarter, we kind of pushed the gas and kind of got over the hump. But that group of seniors now, those guys, they were sophomores then. So they've been in a big game environment, and this time I expect to see them handle it easy and get the young guys over the hump. But they're seasoned, and I think they're ready to take that next step.
Lewis, everybody knows about Norcross. They're at home. Gainesville's got a little crowd here. I see some Watson jerseys. They have a following. Does it bode well for Norcross to protect home court and use everything to their advantage, despite not having the normal size that they've had in the past?
Well, I think one of the most important things for Norcross is to understand that Gainesville's going to come out and throw the first punch. They're going to look to try to throw the first punch. And once again, it's emotion. If you're able to handle that emotion, knowing that at home that there's going to be spurts. The thing that you want to do is try to impose your will early and kind of take away any hope that they may have. So it'll be very interesting with 2 established teams, not only in this area, but throughout the state.
Norcross, as I mentioned, coming in 2-0. They defeated Miller Grove last week and Walnut Grove. They're coming in 83 points per game and 51.5 points defending. Gainesville opening the season. This is their opener. Last year, 28-2, a tough loss. The Cedar Shoals, a 5A school, would wind up being a 5A runner-up, and then losing the 6A eventual champion in Langston Hughes. Their only 2 setbacks last year. So you can see why the bar is so high for the Red Elephants.
We had a chance to spend some time early this year with KJ Buffen and Xavier Bledson, and this is one of the games that they marked on the schedule. They played these guys throughout the summer. I think they had a play date with Norcross, so they're excited to be in this environment to come out and compete.
Well, both teams break out. We get ready for the tip. 8 minutes on the first quarter clock. Norcross in the home whites, all white, white tops, white bottoms, blue numbers, and that little bitty trim of gold. Gainesville, red tops, red bottoms for the Red Elephants, fittingly, with the black numbers. They've got white trim. JoJo, with all those springs, will be jumping it up against Jarrell Rosser. Here it is on the Radar Hoops Tip-off classic is underway. Gainesville wins it. They're moving right to left as you view it. Pull-up jumper off the right, no good. Rebound grabbed down by JoJo Topping, his first board of the day. Gives it up to Dalvin White. White skips it across, going for Boston, and Rosser comes in and knocks it out of bounds.
Rosser using that length on defense is bothering people.
Once again, you can see how fast the tempo is. I mean, you know what? If there was a shot clock in high school, you could just turn it off with this game.
Sturdivant would inbound it. Here's White, picked up toughly and defensively by Hale. Springs it over to Sturdivant. Little matchup zone action, pulls a three. White good, he bottomed it out. Dalvin White is good for that. He cracks the seal with a three ball.
Once again, it's important to get that ball movement early in that zone. Led to a wide open three.
Minor swings it. They dump it down low to Rosser. Good pass. He tried to hit Bailey, a turnover. Good thought, but Bailey not there.
Looked like both teams playing a little zone early.
Dalvin White, who cracked that three. We want to talk about veterans. He's a 4-year player and just valuable off the bench and in the starting lineup over his career at Norcross. Sturdivant holds. There's White going to pull another deep three. Kaboom. Dalvin White, back-to-back three balls. Those are zone busters.
Once again, when you have a seasoned veteran like that who's been used to playing in this type of moment, he's just taking advantage of the moment. We have him written down as underrated. I think they better get on it.
Very much. 3-2 zone with Boston up top. Pump fake. Bledson pulls the three. Hill of the rim. No. Rebound going to be ripped down by Rosser. Turns right hand. Jump good. A little hook in there by Jorel Rosser.
Once again, Gainesville size getting that offensive rebound, being able to get that step back. Got to put bodies on them early.
Minute and a half gone by. Brandon Boston, who went for 25 last week against Miller Grove, dances down the left baseline. Nothing there. Out to JoJo Topping. Topping spent time working on the jumper. There you see it in action. JoJo Topping.
Norcross shooting the ball well early.
Bad pass. So we have Norcross getting good shots and making them. Gainesville early turnovers.
It's their second turnover right there by Gainesville. Sometimes you got to fake a pass to make a pass.
Back-to-back possessions with turnovers.
Exactly.
Coming up on 6-10, Sturdivant left of the lane, kicks it back to top and spins it to Johnson. Johnson, a three is badly missed. No good. Rebound came down to Brett Kelly. Lost it. Nice look to Rosser. Rosser wasn't ready. Cutting down the lane. An unnecessary dribble. Blew the layup. JoJo Topping snatched the board down. Seems like if Kelly goes straight up without that dribble, he'll make that. Johnson crosses the timeline, gives it to White, who spins it over to Sturdivant. Sturdivant worked on by Minor. Pulls the left wing three. Front iron, no. Johnson flying in out of the guard spot. He landed on his left wrist. Johnson is down. He is down underneath the basket. There's a drive. Put it up. JoJo Topping with the block. I don't like the way he fell down on that left wrist or left arm, but that's not what he's holding now as personnel, at least one Norcross personnel, comes to take a look at him. Foul was called on Brandon Boston for Norcross, his first, team's first.
Once again, that's one of those plays when you're playing hard. That's one of the things that can happen in a game. So let's hope that he's okay.
Johnson still down in the paint. He went up high for that board and landed almost like he was on his stomach. He rolled over on his back. I thought maybe for a moment, it could have landed on that wrist, but still moving both arms, so hopefully it'll be okay. KJ Buffen now into the contest.
Three new guys, KJ Buffen. The other twin, the Rosser, checks in, and also
Rafael Robles.
Seems like Coach Wood's going in to try to shake it up a little bit here. Looks like Norcross has fallen in love with that three-point shot a little bit, so had a couple chances to get a couple heat checks, but sometimes you got to go back to inside out. Maybe try to, get some dribble penetration there and get some easy buckets underneath.
Bledson, the trigger man, baseline out of bounds, and he dips it back to Buffing now, who swings it over. And here is Jarrett Rosser. Now to Bledson, back to the basket, turn, shot up, and they will call it on the floor on Kyle Sturdivant.
Once again, we talked about the three. We talked about the three Bs. And Bledson being able to get that ball down in the post. One of the things a lot of people don't take into account, sometimes the team fouls really good offense, one step closer to getting to that free throw line.
And you're right, Lewis, about Benji shuffling. Another quick substitution as he brings Hale right back into the contest. 3 in red for the Red Elephants, who are trailing 8-2, 5:28, so a little more than 2.5 minutes gone by first quarter. Still looking at a 3-2 zone defense. Bledson pulls the left wing three. It's off the hill of the rim. No good. Rebound Sturdivant. Sturdivant going to try to push it. It was back tapped out of bounds, and it'll stay with Norcross.
Looks like the young fellow Boston's on top of the zone, causing a couple of problems with his length.
You took the words right out of my mouth. On a 3-2 like that, if you got your tallest guy up top, it does disrupt the defense. White drives, lost it, and
inadvertent whistle.
Yep. So it will remain Gainesville basketball.
It seems like early on, Coach Wood's trying to figure out some different ways with some different lineups, this being his first game. So trying to figure out how to change that momentum back into their favor.
Robles spins it to Rosser, now to Buffen, who kicks it back out to Robles. A deep, long three, no good. Rebound skied for him, brought down, and a foul now on the floor on the rebound.
Once again, we talked about early about Norcross not being as big as they've been in the past. They've given up 3 offensive rebounds early on to Gainesville.
And now have 3 fouls. Baseline, Robles, get it out. Get that shot out of here, Toppin with the block. White, now to Eskridge, Kevon, a 3. No, back iron, Bailey Minor tipped it and got the rebound. Yes, they are winning the rebounding battle. Into the forecourt, now going to take it and spin it back to a cutting Minor.
Oh,
Blew the easy layup, Topping on the glass.
I tell you one thing, Gainesville early on, when they're not turning the ball over, making great decisions with the ball.
3 ball.
Norcross with another 3-point basket.
That's his third 3. I think we got to make him put it on the floor and get inside that 3-point line.
I think between both of these teams, we see more 3-point shots than anything.
Eric Rosser going to make him drive. Robles lost it. Kevon Esther tempted to JoJo. JoJo up ahead to Boston. He goes behind the back and scores. Brandon Boston, a beautiful move in transition.
They take the basket away. He traveled.
That's a tough call.
That's
a great move.
Tough. Ooh. We'll take a look at our SUV TV instant replay. Wow.
I'm going to go ahead and put my coach's hat on that one. You got to let it go.
Oh, 1-2. Yeah, that's a beautiful move.
Referees trying to figure it out early this year, too, now.
Nope, this their 5th game today. I told them I don't want no fatigue.
And that's why I'm up here in the booth.
11-2, halfway gone, first quarter. Cut in, put it on the floor, lost it, a turnover. Boston comes away with it. Boston carried again, back-to-back turnovers by Brandon Boston.
Gainesville gets some great ball movement in the zone. A couple of times haven't been able to finish, and then the turnover the last time.
Little coaching point for all the young fellas playing in the paint. When you get that ball right there 2 feet in the paint, you got to be able to power up. Putting the ball on the floor gave Norcross a chance to react and get hands on the ball and get a turnover.
Now the zone still a 3-2. Bailey Minor back out, spins it. Then they're going to feed it in. There's Buffen. Buffen goes up, bothered, and a wedgie. A jump ball. JoJo Toppin, not the tallest, but he's kind of handling it down there defensively.
Toppin's a great athlete, man. He's one of the most athletic kids I think we got here in the state of Georgia, just committed to the University of Georgia.
Exactly, which kind of shocked me. It came across my feed. I was like, oh, JoJo going to stay in Georgia and go to UGA. So good for him.
Gainesville will apply full court pressure here. Let's see if they can change the tempo.
There's a foul call. It'll be on John Hale, his first. Gainesville's first. Caleb Murphy, number 22, in for Norcross in white. A solid performance last week against Miller Grove. Sturdivant crossing the timeline, dribbles left to the foul line on the elbow to Boston, cutting underneath, layup, blew it. Rebound, Buffing, outlet. Now here come the Red Elephants in transition. Bad pass. Murphy with the steal. He's got Boston up ahead, doesn't see him. Murphy gonna go all the way on Buffen and get the foul.
Once again, right there, fellas, you get down the floor, you know, sometimes you got to keep your head up on the dribble because you had a couple guys ahead of him. Pass beats a dribble 10 out of 10 times.
That's right. I expected him to go to Boston, who was up there, but drew the foul and got it on KJ Buffen. Murphy, free throw, no good. 11-2. Gainesville struggling on offense so far. Dalvin White stroking threes for Norcross. He has 3 of them. Murphy adds a free throw. He splits them.
Both teams seem to be trying to settle in early. A couple of turnovers on both sides, so hopefully we'll pick it up the next couple of plays.
Goes baseline, and
Offensive
it'll be an
foul.
offensive foul. Yeah, brought that hook out there.
Definitely hooked him right there on the baseline. It's going to be very interesting to see what Coach Wood does right now in regards to being down 10 early on the road. Team looks a little bit rattled. See what they can do defensively here. See if they can get some momentum back in their favor.
And the gym relatively calm at the moment. Sturdivant has that backcourt pressure from Hale. Spins it to Toppin. Toppin wanted the attack. Toppin spins it over to Kevon Estridge. A left wing three, good. That's what he does.
Norcross is shooting the lights out, man. I think this is the 5th three-point basket.
That's all their points all for threes so far.
They got a JoJo Toppin, 2. That was it. 15-2, and Kevon Estridge coming over for Columbia, where all he did was stretch defenses with the long ball.
KJ Buffen with an opportunity for an and one, but it's just hit with a technical foul.
Can't score and put the ball in the opposing player's chest.
Buffen, the Middle Tennessee State commit, one of the top players here in the state.
One of the things I have to say, knowing Kermit Davis there at Middle Tennessee State, you got to have players that play for him that play hard, that play together and play smart. So see how he bounces back after this free throw, and then how he bounces back after getting called for that technical.
Buffen connects on the three-point play, but not only the technical, but that's his second foul. And only 3 minutes of action. And Sturdivant now will come back the other way and shoot the 2 free throws.
It's going to be tough for Gainesville. Buffen is that guy for Gainesville, and now to have him on the bench with 2 fouls early and down 10 early makes it kind of hard.
You know what, Coach? We always talk about players like that 6 through 10 on your roster. Guys always asking for that opportunity to step up. Now you get your opportunity.
Now they'll get their chance right here. And I think Gainesville has enough depth to try to make up for him being on the bench.
Sturdivant splits the technicals, and Norcross will take the ball out of bounds. 16-5, an 11-point lead, 2:42 to go. Nice crowd, but calm crowd at the moment. Sturdivant, the trigger man. Looks, and inbounds it to Dalvin White, who's picked up by Bletz, and he's laying off of him. Gainesville now has gone to a man-to-man. So Norcross busting those threes, broke up the zone. Toppin flashes, pump fakes, pulls along, too good. JoJo Toppin.
Toppin has been known to be just a super athlete, but man, the jump shot looks a whole lot better, and he's making it happen right now.
That's exactly where I was going to throw it to you, Mario. Last year, he was not hitting that. And he put in the work throughout the offseason and the summer, and now he's hitting that. Another turnover on a traveling violation by Hale.
Gainesville's got to find a way to get Bletson going, and Bailey Minor. Now Minor checks out of the ball game, but without Buffen, got to find some buckets out of Bletson or Minor.
The roster twins together are in now. 1 is Jarrett, 2 is Jarrell. I don't know if that's the birth order, though. Here comes Sturdivant. Sturdivant all the way to the right elbow and floated up on the block.
Great move. Came down on the court under control with the man on his hip and just pulled up and stuck one.
Under 2 minutes. A long three, Bletson. Hill of the rim, no good. Tip out of bounds. It will go to Norcross. No fluidity for Gainesville offensively.
Right now, Gainesville is playing way too fast. They're playing like they're on a 7-second shot clock. What they need to do is just get back to making those extra passes early. And you know what? They got to let their defense become offense for them right now. Last time down in their man-to-man, they were switching everything on, dribble handoffs and ball screens.
White, give me the hot sauce. Give me the hot sauce, Dalvin White.
That's their 6-3 of the first quarter.
And his 4th. And when you get 4 threes, it's hot sauce time. 95 seconds, a 19-point Norcross lead, 24-5. Woo! I said it was hot in here.
Hey, man,
and they are hot.
The penetration and pitching is always key. Great job of finding a hot man. Norcross looking good early, man.
Another thing about Norcross, they're being very unselfish with the ball and the way that they're passing, just making the simple pass for the simple shot.
At Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, the sports medicine team doesn't just treat the paid sports injuries. They work with young athletes to fix the problem and teach them proper sports mechanics. When you choose Children's, you're in the hands of specialists who understand how to help young athletes get back in the game. Visit coha.org/sportsmed to learn more. The Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Out of the timeout, a 19-point hole right now for Gainesville. They're in possession with the red tops, and Norcross is absolutely shooting them out of the gym. Here's Rosser feeding it down inside the Rosser. It was Jarrett to Jarrell, and a whistle.
Once again, that matchup zone, that 3-2 look that Norcross has been throwing at Gainesville is giving them a little bit of issue because they're not able to necessarily get a direct line pass into the paint. But when Gainesville's gotten into the paint, they've gotten fouls, which once again is good offense.
Anytime you get good ball movement in the zone, you should be able to get a good look. That's another turnover here by Gainesville.
Another turnover, and that was Bledson. Bledson can't get on track.
Right now, we talked about the keys early, the 3 Bs for Gainesville, and not getting a lot out of any one of them right now. They got to get on track.
White standing on that beautiful Norcross logo for the Blue Devils. Gives it over to Eskridge. Eskridge back to White. White, a corner. It was pieced on and blocked, knocked out of bounds. It will go to and retain possession to Norcross. So White missed that 3. That's the only one he's missed because it was deflected. Under a minute, 57 and 7/10 seconds, 24-5. Norcross with a huge, whopping lead, and Gainesville showing very little signs of life offensively, or defensively for that matter. Boston has it to White. Norcross has spread the floor.
Look like Norcross might be trying to set up the play for one. Just as I say that, they jack a 3. No
Boston,
good.
Nope. Here comes Bledson. Bledson lost it, and a foul by Kevon Eskridge. Well, now the foul count beginning to rack up for Norcross. That's their 6th.
Really right there for Norcross. There's no sense in, trying to back tap that right there. They were back in transition, had the numbers. So, that'll be a good coachable moment right there for Coach McMillan when he shows them and breaks down film for him.
Lewis Williams will enter into the contest for Norcross. Now that football is over, he'll try and get some burn on the basketball court. 3-2 zone defense again. Cross-court pass, too high. Another poor pass, another turnover for Gainesville.
Coach, you just pointed out he made the wrong pass. He probably should have hit the wing before he tried to make the skip pass.
Absolutely.
Tough turnover.
White to Murphy. Murphy goes around a Williams screen. Back out to Dalvin White. White picked up defensively, very tough by Hale. Now they spin it across. Selton Zion is in the contest as well. Almost a near turnover for Norcross. Under 10 seconds. White gonna drive, kicks it off to Zion and scores. A beautiful dime drop. Seeking and finding. Long heave, it is no good. Well, how about you open up the finale that way? 26-5, Norcross leading Gainesville. Second quarter action on the other side of this break. This is the SUVTV.com. Stat Row, your source for you sports highlights. I'm going to tell you the highlight of that first quarter. It was the Norcross 3-bomb parade led by Dalvin White. A long 3, no good. As we get the second quarter underway, Joel Hilsman, Lewis Preston, Mario Mays here with you in the finale of the On the Radar Hoops Tip-Off Classic. Brandon Boston, a beautiful reverse.
Hey man, this young fella is as good as Bill right now. He's one of the top freshmen definitely in this state, and he's making some noise already.
Long 3, finally a field goal. Brent Kelly with a 3-ball, only the 3rd field goal of the contest. It's still a 20-point game. Meanwhile, Alonzo Johnson, who left the game shaken up, is back in for the Blue Devils, number 1, the guard.
Once again, I think it's very important for Gainesville to just take it one possession at a time. That's probably what Coach Wood told them there at the end of the first quarter. They just got to try to get one stop at a time. But once again, if you're going to leave it wide open down the middle off of that pick and roll, it's going to be hard to stop that.
Toppin finished it.
Another
Another
turnover.
Gainesville turnover. Now there's a back tap, but right to Sturdivant. Sturdivant now going to push it, going to go all the way down the lane. Shot is up, no call, out of bounds, and it will go over to Gainesville. Gainesville sloppy with the basketball, and Norcross calls a timeout. We'll keep it right here. Coach Jesse McMillan not pleased, although they're up 30-8.
I expect Gainesville to settle down this second half, try to play a little more together, make a couple more passes, work the zone a little better with ball movement so you get some better looks at the basket. The last couple of times down, get 2, maybe 3 passes and a long shot. They got to get a little bit more interior touches to get some easy buckets.
I think the crowd right now is a little bit stunned on two sides of the coin. First of all, Gainesville fans hadn't seen their team play this bad, although it's the first game of the season for them. For Norcross, they didn't think that they would have it this easy on both sides of the floor.
It is a very just surreal gym feel at the moment. When you look up at the board, it's 30-8. And that's why. Here's Bledson, another dribble in the lane, off the window and scores this
Great
time.
job by Bledson. Bledson has a very high skill set. He's a great passer. As you can see, he can score from the mid-post. He can shoot the 3 ball. Ready to see Bledson get going right here in the second quarter.
What's really interesting so far, we haven't talked about Sturdivant that much.
We haven't. He had got that little floater, and that's pretty much been it. And he split the technical free throws, and that's been it. It's been Dalvin White because he came out and shot the 3 and shot it so well and effectively, efficiently against that Gainesville defense. 6:10 to go. They dump it down to Minor. Minor up off the window and scores. High-low action.
Great look again by Bledson. Like I said, man, Bledson is a great all-around player, great passer, great ball handler, and he can score the ball also. So now you see 2 of the Bs starting to get going for Gainesville.
White drives, left hand bothered and blocked by KJ Buffen.
Now we go to third B. Buffen with the block. That length bothers anybody.
Robles now to Kelly. Kelly spins it to Xavier Bledson. Bledson on a look to Robles layup. Rolled off, got his own board underneath. Now shoves it off to Bailey Minor who puts it in.
Great job by Gainesville right there. Great job making the extra pass. They didn't get the initial layup, got the offensive rebound, made the simple pass. Bailey with the finish.
Not the response that Coach McMillan looking for after the Norcross timeout. Topping, gonna drive on with the left hand scoop and score. Beautiful move, JoJo Topping. Man, JoJo, a beautiful move. 32-14, Minor, shoulder range, front iron, no good. Rebound is there by Kelly. Kelly kicks it out to Bledson. Bledson couldn't catch it cleanly. Steps in now, leans in, tried to get the foul shot to good.
Yeah, Bledson seems to start to roll. As soon as Bledson starts to roll, I think this team, now you see them kind of catching some momentum, catching a rhythm. Now they're kind of making a play here.
Coach, the only problem with this is you can't keep trading baskets with Norcross because they're up 16 right now.
Got to get stops. Great point. Got to get stops.
Doubled up. There goes Sturdivant driving and a foul on Bailey Minor. So this group has kind of shown some life, but more substitutions are coming. And I think, again, Lewis, to what you alluded to in the first game, Benji Wood trying to find a rotation, a lineup that is clicking.
Once again, I think what's really we haven't talked about enough, Norcross is not doing anything out of the ordinary. They're just taking what the defense gives them. They've been able to knock the outside shot down, which has allowed for dribble penetration into the paint, and now they're getting fouls and getting to the free throw line.
Kawan Hale checks back in along with Jared Rosser. The Rosser twins together only have 2 points. 33-16, 4:42 to go.
All the other actions coming from the 3 Bs, and then you got junior Brent Kelly with a 3-point bucket.
No good. So Sturdivant struggling somewhat from the foul line. He's 2 of 4. Uncommon. Coming up on 4.5. Gainesville trying to find some momentum. Still faced with that 3-2 zone defense. Bledson cut off by Eskridge. Out to Robles. Robles spins it across. Bledson left open, pump fake. Now escape dribble, jumper, long, no good. Rebound in the lane, gives it off to Buffen. He lost it on the way up, put back up off the window and scores to John Hale.
We talked again about Norcross not necessarily having a lot of height, and here you see Gainesville getting extra rebounds.
Gainesville, that is the one positive side. They are winning the rebounding battle, offensively and defensively.
But they got to get some stops.
Must do it. Topping, catch, a three, no. Rebound, comes off, rebound to Rosser. Rosser outlets to Hale. Hale's pass stolen by Brandon Boston. Showtime. Brandon Boston with the steal and dunk.
He is living up to the billing. Living up to the billing right now for the young fella.
35-18, Buffen a power dribble up, count it, and the foul, a score and one more for KJ Buffen.
Great move by Buffen, great body control. That's exactly what we've come to expect from Buffen, game in, night out. So hopefully he'll get rolling right here.
One of the things that Gainesville has done a much better job of is getting that ball inside. Early on in the first quarter, they were settling for outside shots, and it didn't get them any rhythm. Now they're getting that ball inside, once again attacking the lack of size that Norcross has.
Trying to whittle the lead on down, and does, to 14. Completing the three-point play, KJ Buffen. So Buffen now up to 6 points. Eskridge to White. White stops, jumper, elbow, short, rebound, Zion. Zion back out to Sturdivant, and Norcross will set it up. Gainesville now man-to-man, no, in his own defense, goes around it. Sturdivant all the way to Boston. Boston to White. White drives, dumps it off. Sturdivant underneath. Give me that.
Great job on defense by Gainesville. As we talked about earlier, the length that they have is going to be a real key factor for them.
I tell you, I really like how Norcross is moving this basketball right now, offensively. They're playing very unselfish.
Sturdivant wanted to go baseline, it wasn't there. Kicks it to the top. White, a three, no. Rebound, Buffen skies for it and clears it and gives it over to Robles. 2:59 now. Robles up to Kelly. Kelly picked up the dribble, still looked at that zone defense. There's Robles. Boston still out at the head of that 3-2. Kelly holds it, kicks it across. There's Buffen, put it on the floor, across the lane. Shot is up and rolls in. KJ Buffen beginning to warm up.
Job on that possession of being patient, moving the ball. And just like we spoke about before, the more ball movement they get, and then put that ball down in that mid post, they got guys that can get buckets.
18-9, they're winning the second quarter. Buffen with a steal and a dunk. KJ Buffen getting it going now. He rips Sturdivant. That's a center ripping the guard and goes for the dunk and picks him up again. And now the Gainesville crowd trying to find life. It's down to 10. Sturdivant, foul line jumper. No. Rebound. Zion underneath. He walked. Shelton Zion, good effort to get the rebound, but he walked out the gym, or did they call a whistle?
They called a foul.
Wow.
That's a tough call. Coach, I'm going to ask you this question. If you're sitting on the bench with that call, I know you jump up and turn a back flip. That's tough right there.
I'd probably be about 7'2" right now instead of 6'8".
That's a tough blow right there.
But once again, Gainesville's done a great job of getting in the paint offensively, and they're getting their hands on some balls defensively.
And now here they come with Bledson. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Bledson wanted to pull it, jab step, and does pull it. A three, good. Xavier Bledson now warming to the task as well.
We talked about the 3 Bs.
It's gone from 22 down to 7 with 100 seconds to go. White down the lane, had it knocked away. Eskridge in the corner, a three. Yes, sir.
This game is living up to the hype. The tempo's picked up, Gainesville settled in, and it's a great game.
Hale a three, right back at you. They're going to trade threes now.
The crowd is into it right now on both sides.
7-point game, 80 seconds. White now going to work on Kelly. White going to drive on Minor. Up, no. Toppin tried to get the rebound. Kelly gets it, and here comes Gainesville with 70 seconds. Over across, lead pass, stop. Hale gathers his feet, now feeds it to Minor. Minor back to the basket, spin, got him off the feet. Out of bounds. Good defense by JoJo Toppin. He got everything from the floor to the ceiling.
I got to say again, I think they missed another one. That was really hard not to blow that whistle.
I'd be 7'4" right now.
Yeah.
7'4".
2 inches each time. Bledson the trigger man. 1:02 to go. 38-31. They've cut it to 7. They were down by 20 at one point. So Robles a three off tip. Rebound comes down to Toppin. Toppin down to Eskridge. We're under a minute. Kevon has warmed up. Norcross bombing triples. A turnover. Buffen has it. Buffen gonna ride by. They foul him. Shot is up. An intentional foul call on Dalvin White.
Now we see what we talked about earlier. We made this point over and over and over again. Buffen, Bledson, Bailey Minor, all three of these guys just stepped up in the last 2 to 3 minutes and made plays. And now Gainesville seems to be catching the rhythm, and now they're rolling.
Now, they call that an intentional foul. I don't think it was intentional. I think White was trying to stop him from scoring. But this, he misses the first free throw. Could be a turning point because they're going to get the ball back. It could have been maybe a 4 or 5 point possession. Still could be a 3-4 possession as he splits them.
Actually, what you see right here is with that momentum change, it's going to be curious to see how Norcross finishes in the last 48 seconds here, if they can get the momentum back going into the halftime, because it's clearly on Gainesville's side.
They've cut it to 6, just chipping away. Myler catches a 3. Minor no good. Rebound hit the floor. Sturdivant chases away. The clock is not running. The clock is not running. We've got free basketball. Now it's running, and they stop it. 46 and 3/10 seconds out of bounds. It will be Norcross ball underneath the basket on the baseline. Eskridge looking. He's the trigger man. Looks and fires it back out to Sturdivant. Sturdivant between the rings. They'll work on it now as their lead is whittled all the way down to 6. Hale now working on Sturdivant as he pulls it back out, 35 on the clock.
Question is, if you're Norcross, you just make this the last shot of the half. The way Sturdivant's looking, I think he's going to try to take this before.
25 seconds, going to spin. Got in the air, over to Eskridge, a ball, a 3, good! Kevon Eskridge, reservations for 3. He's just pure, folks.
That's been back-to-back threes from the corner right there to extend that lead out to 9.
You cannot leave Kevon Eskridge anywhere on the wing. There goes a 3 by Bledson. Rattled out. Zion got the rebound with 4 seconds. Boston now up ahead to Eskridge. Eskridge, I'm glad he didn't get it off. He might have stripped the net there. So Gainesville makes a push. They close to within 6, but now trail by 9. That's a lot better than 20. 41-32 at the half on the Radar Hoops. Tip-off classic from the House of Blue. It's on the campus of Norcross High School. Back inside the House of Blue. Glad that you're with us here on the SUVTV.com. Joel Hillsman joined by Lewis Preston and Mario Mays. Gainesville, a 27-point second quarter to close the gap. They were down 20, now trail by 9. Lewis, we'll start with you. What do they need to do to keep the momentum going here as we get ready for the third quarter?
Well, the first thing Gainesville needs to do is keep playing inside and then getting out. Once again, they took those outside shots early that didn't work for them, which led to easy transition baskets for Norcross. Once they got the ball inside to the 3Bs, everything, the momentum switched to their favor. So to be curious to see what Norcross does to neutralize that in the third quarter.
Mario, for Norcross, big lead, cut down, kind of got it cut in half. How do you stave off Gainesville?
Well, I think what they got to do, they're a veteran team. They got a veteran coach who's been in this situation a million times before, so they just got to stay steady, stick with what got them here, which was the hot shooting and the ball movement. I think they'll be fine. But I tell you this Gainesville team will not lay down. I know what their mindset is. I'm from Gainesville, and I don't want to sound like a homer, but our thought process was anytime we got an opportunity to leave town and play the guys in the city, we always wanted them to know, like, we play basketball on this end too. So I know what these kids are thinking, so I don't expect them to lay down. They're going to keep fighting.
Norcross, same starting five, topping Sturdivant, Johnson, White, and Brandon Boston. No good. Here comes Bletson back this way. Johnson chasing him down. Bletson goes in, off the window, no. They tip, fight for it. It's going to come down to Sturdivant. Sturdivant can go all the way. He's ahead of the pack. Sturdivant, easy layup off the right side.
Once again, quick shots can lead to transition buckets for Norcross there.
Double-digit lead now, 43-32. It is Hale, Minor, Kelly, Rosser, and that's Jarrell Rosser and Xavier Bletson. Same starting five for both teams. A minute gone by, third quarter. Still a 3-2 zone defense. Tried to get on low, got it up to Bailey, blew it. Boston gets the rebound.
Got to capitalize on those opportunities. This is the same way they started out the ball game, getting good ball movement, getting it to the post, and not finishing. They can't start out this quarter since they're behind the same way they start to get into the ball game.
Johnson drives not there. JoJo Topham going to get hit with a loose ball foul for Norcross. Dalvin White, 4 3-pointers in that first quarter. He has a team-high 12 at the break for Norcross.
You see Coach Wood making a quick substitution early to get Buffen back in the ball game, a guy who on this end is a money finisher, so hopefully get a different result down here on the box the next time.
KJ Buffen with 11 to lead Gainesville, and remember, those 11 are off the bench. Bledsoe has it. Ooh, step through, floats it up, badly missed, no good. Boston tapped it and then got hit in the face, and there's going to be a foul.
Once again, right there, Gainesville did a great job of getting the ball into the paint, rushed the shot a little bit, led out to an easy break out there for Norcross. Once again, sometimes team fouls is good offense.
Eskridge now on the floor. Man, did he light it up with 9 points, all of them from beyond the arc in the first half. Boston goes down the baseline, and a foul on Buffen. That's a big foul. That's KJ Buffin's third foul.
Big foul. Buffin's got to move his feet, better position on the defensive end instead of reaching across the body. Sometimes that length kind of makes you a little lazy, but he's got to do a better job moving his feet on the defensive end.
Just as I note that down, they change it and give it to Brett Kelly. Nope, they get it back. Okay, yep, 5. 3 fouls.
Once again, that play right there by Buffen, the guy was underneath the basket. He didn't need to do anything in regards to that. Just let him go underneath. That, to me, is not a very smart play.
Buffen got the rebound. White with the pick. Up ahead to Boston. Boston chased down by Buffen, who got 3 fouls. He lays it up and in.
Tough play right there for Buffen. If not for the third foul, I can see him challenging in that shot, but it was a smart move, let me go.
13-point lead now for Norcross. They trail by 20. Gainesville cut it to 6. Now it's back up there to 13. Bledson looking at the zone defense. Caught in that corner, not there for Rosser. Back to Bledson at the top, hesitated, now goes left to the lane and now peels it back out. Buffing in the middle, flips it up and in.
Great pass by Bledson. I mean, he's patient, and he makes a perfect read and a bounce pass right there in that small pocket for Buffen to be able to finish.
Great coaching point right there. Bigs that can pass in close quarters right there. makes coaches look really good.
Very fundamental play.
Pass, tip, stolen. Here comes defense. Here comes Hale. Hale all the way, left-hand layup. Good. Defense turning the offense now. Go on, Hale.
Once again,
It's under 10.
that was one of the keys of the game.
Topping, pump fake, spins. Shot bothered by Rosser. Rosser, after he got beat, reached in and got the foul on Topping as he commits the foul.
Tough play for Rosser right there. Trying to close out with his hands up. Seemed like Topping was getting ready to force one, but tough one.
Once again, coach, little coaching point right there. You got the ball picked up. He's 18 feet away. He's shooting a fadeaway. I just put my hands there and just get back off of it. If he can make that shot, you know what? I'll personally go to the concession stand and buy him a hot dog.
And the hot dogs are good here at the House of Blue, I tell you that. JoJo missed the first one. He'll get another one. Benji Wood makes substitutions, but notably leaving Buffen in now with 3 fouls. Topping, good. I think a lot can be derived of that, trusting him to play with the 3 fouls and knowing what he's bringing to the contest. He's already got 15.
Once again, he's a senior. So at this point, you got to ride him out. First game of the year, get to learn a lot about your squad here.
Now the officials are discussing something. Are they looking in the scorer's book?
And to the point of KJ Buffen being a senior, he's played in some big environments, played a lot of good ball this summer on the circuit. So it's expected for him to be able to shine in this moment right now where Gainesville needs him to help them get over the hump.
Kelly across the timeline, laying back again in the 3-2 zone. Over to Minor in the corner, skips it to Buffen. Buffen put it on the floor, goes up, no good. Got his own board and put it back in. KJ Buffen making an impact now.
The size of Gainesville right now, getting that ball in the paint and then being able to explode off the floor for those second opportunities, Norcross can't handle that.
Another turnover. Buffing in transition, showing off the handles. KJ Buffing!
Great move
on
by
the break.
KJ Buffen, in and out move, and then you see him stretch and finish with the length. Great job by KJ Buffen.
And that's why Coach Wood kept him in the game.
You got that right. 17 points now, a game high 17. So the Gainesville cheerleaders now going to begin to make some noise. A little bounce in the step. It's down to 6. Backdoor. But get it out. Get that shot out of here. KJ Buffen sends it away. Brandon Boston.
Again, KJ Buffen making plays on both ends of the floor. Great block, using the length again.
And it started, Coach, you said they had to get stops. You know, if you defend and rebound, your offense will come. Hale with the steal, got it going a little bit here in this third quarter. And the clock was not running again. So they're going to take some time off of it. Officials caught it, 3:48. Now he says, no, let's take some more. You can stop right there. We're all right. 3:45. One Rosser for another. Jarrell in for Jarrett.
Very interested to see how Norcross here handles the way that the momentum's changed. They don't have Johnson in the game. Got White and Sturdivant up top. See what type of advantage they can take here.
Sturdivant driving on Buffen. Buffen challenged it despite the fouls. Tip out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Norcross.
Listen, right now, the back line of Gainesville with the length, they're challenging and changing every shot that Norcross attempts when they get in the paint.
Sturdivant with the inbound trigger to JoJo Topping. Topping now crosses over, wanting to dance on him. Foul line jumper, good. That actually looks like he had to turn and work a little harder to square that J up, but it still failed.
That's a big bucket.
That's a big bucket.
8-point game.
Great athleticism by the lefty right there.
Tried to feed it down, they do to Buffen. Buffen kicks it back out. Minor, a long 3, no. Rebound brought down by Boston. Minor has struggled tonight.
Right, I've been waiting to see him kind of heat up from the outside.
There's a drive by Sturdivant. No good. Good call. No call, I should say. Rosser gets the rebound. Here comes Robles. Robles into the forecourt. 8-point game. Robles into the lane. Minor open. Doesn't want to pull it. Back out now to Robles. He's picked up by White. Now going to drive right down the lane. Left hand up and in. Robles.
Once again, we've talked the entire time about Gainesville being able to score their points inside, out, getting dribble penetration into the paint.
That time
it looked like
they fell asleep defensively, though. took a nap. Sturdivant now into the paint, lost it. It's on the ground. We'll have a jump ball coming up. Possession arrow will go to Gainesville. So again, Gainesville defense.
Now Gainesville getting the stops. And in the first quarter, they didn't get. Now they're tightening up on the defensive end, and they seem to got a real good defensive rhythm at this point in the ball game.
Sturdivant getting a lecture from head coach Jesse Mack. 5 state championships for the boys, 3 for the girls, hanging from the rafters here at the House of Blue.
I'll tell you this, Norcross has got to do something defensively to change the momentum that Gainesville has. Me personally, offensively, I think that once again, I would try to get some ball screen action and get some penetration into the paint. See if I can get that 4th foul on KJ Buffen to change that momentum.
Great point, Coach. It's an adjustment time, and this is important. I like to see what both of these coaches do right now at this point.
Speaking of, I think you guys just topped it up. Yep, he's going to come and get Rosser. Rosser for Rosser. So Buffen, with those 3 fouls now, has managed to remain on the floor. 6-point game. This is as close as Gainesville has been. An opportunity to get even closer. Bledson has it on the left wing. They tried to go alley-oop. Counts as a shot. No good. Here comes Murphy, who just came into the game for Norcross. And now a kickball. Good pressure defense by Hale.
Now, if you notice on the zone for Norcross this time, early Boston was out above the 3-point line. Now with all of the interior presence that Gainesville had, now Coach McMillan has made an adjustment and dropped him back toward the middle of the floor and the free throw lines. Good adjustment to try to stop some of the inside buckets of Gainesville.
And Gainesville has not shot the ball well from the outside tonight either. So really going to try to dare you to shoot it. And a foul by Hale. Hale being aggressive. And White comes up, looks like he got a little cramp going on. 1:53 to go, 48-42. Eskridge will inbound it. Hale picks up his 2nd. Team's 4th.
Gainesville's had a lot of activity defensively on the baseline out of bounds plays with deflections and kicks.
Inbound to Topping. Topping now out to Murphy. Murphy back to JoJo.
Extremely hard to throw the ball over the outstretched arms of a guy that's 6'7", especially like KJ Buffen on the inbound pass.
The foul called on Jared Rosser.
I tell you one thing, Norcross has gotten a lot out of having Toppin up top and throwing the ball over the top and just letting him be able to penetrate off the dribble. Might be something that they might look at, and I would almost go a 1-4 and put the ball in his hands and see what he can do.
Buffen again on the inbounder, deflects the pass. Gainesville shuttling in and out. Brett Kelly will come in. Kajuan Hale will take a seat. 1:44, 3rd quarter. Norcross and Gainesville and another whistle. So now the foul's beginning to rack up here.
Gainesville got to be a little more disciplined on defense. Right now they're messing up the foul count. The next foul is the bonus for Norcross.
Looks like they're trying to play football up in here.
Foul called on Bledson. Man, we just getting whistles, and now the crowd a little antsy just a little bit.
I'd be 8 feet tall right now.
Yes, you would. I'd be right there with you, too. A long 3, Murphy, front iron, no, tip, out of bounds. We'll take it out on the baseline again. Whether you're buying or selling a home, Virtual Properties Realty offers a state-of-the-art Atlanta area home search engine that updates daily. Visit Josh Menendez, virtualpropertiesrealty.net to browse our real estate listing or receive a comparable market analyst. Buffing now defensively for Gainesville, another opportunity. Kelly was open, didn't want to shoot it, trigger shy. Here comes Rosser down the lane, cradles, goes up off the window, could not get the roll. Buffing couldn't get the rebound, needed it minor. Rosser gets it. Rosser to Buffing. Buffing, nice dime drop. Up, no, and a foul called on JoJo Toppin.
Buffen to Bledson. Bledson with great body control, being able to draw the foul.
Once again, the 3 Bs from Gainesville from the 2nd quarter up to this point has had a tremendous impact on this game.
Bledson at the free throw line with 7 points in the contest, all of them in that 2nd quarter. Now his first points of the 2nd half. 48-43, 5-point game.
Entering the game for Gainesville, number 23,
The one thing, Mario, specifically, because I know you saw Norcross last week, the bench is shorter today for Coach Mack.
Well, I think the further you go in the season, you need to take as many chances as you would in earlier games. It is still early in the season, but it's kind of interesting to watch substitution patterns on both ends of the floor, and especially here with Gainesville. Coach Wood is in and out, and I don't know. Maybe Gainesville may be seeming to wear down Norcross.
I'm waiting to see when they're going to put Alonzo Johnson back in, or when he fell down earlier in the first quarter. Is he more hurt than they're letting on right now?
Exactly. He did return and then started this half, but has not been back out there. Shot is up, and they are going to call K.J. Buffen for his 4th foul. A dicey call, and the Gainesville fan right down here on the front row doesn't like it. So now K.J. Buffen with his 4th foul. Benji rolled the dice, and he rolled them well. He's got 9 minutes and 1 second left, and Buffen with 4 fouls, and Buffen easily has done the heavy lifting today.
I'd be 8.5, almost 9 feet tall right now, because the last time I checked, you're supposed to have the right verticality from the floor to the ceiling, and the guy ran into him.
Yeah.
If anything, it should be a no call.
Yeah, if anything, yeah.
I think before the night over with, Coach, you're going to be 10 feet tall.
He might be. Free throw from Sturdivant is good. Yeah, that was a bang-bang call, and Buffing was set, and Sturdivant, you know, he drew the contact. He created the contact.
This will be interesting to see if the tempo and the momentum shifts right here with Buffen going out of the ball game.
Very much so, which is why we talked about earlier why Benji rolled the dice and kept him in there. Free throw good. Sturdivant makes them both. Sturdivant now 4 of 6 from the free throw line, up that percentage. Under a minute. Bledson pump fake, put it on the floor. Now tried to get it in the minor. Topping with long arms, took it away. Topping up ahead to Murphy. Murphy spins it in the corner. Estridge, a 3. No. Rebound comes down to Hale. Hale hustling with 40 seconds, and Murphy's going to get hit with a foul.
Going to be interesting to see down the stretch of this ball game how the three-point shot will fall for the Norcross squad and the Gainesville squad. The further you go into the ball game, the deader those legs get. So it's going to be interesting to see how these long shots translate.
It's also going to be interesting to see how the fouls play and a factor in regards to this right now. Buffen's got 4, you know. Got a lot of guys with 2 and 3 fouls for Norcross as well. So be curious to see how it all plays out here.
And Norcross shooting free throws the remainder of the game as Gainesville is over the limit. It's the 1-and-1 currently. There's a drop-off taken away. Murphy with the steal. Now reaching in, a needless foul there by Hale.
Coaching point 101. Never jump to make a pass. Situation right there, just come down, you're right in the paint, maybe get a little shot fake, get the defense to move a little bit, or put that ball up on the rim and let those big bodies go get that offensive rebound.
I think, yeah, you did say 101, because every time you lead a feet to pass, it's nothing but trouble. Rebound, no good. Norcross unable to convert from the foul line. Minor got the rebound. Murphy now 1 of 3 from the line. 25 seconds, 7-point game. And now a foul call, and that'll be on Shelton Zion, I believe. Nope.
A lot of whistles being blown here.
Lewis Williams picks up the foul. Norcross now with 4 team fouls. 21.5 seconds to go. 50-43. High scoring game, but not a lot of crowd involvement. Robles missed the 3. Offensive rebound by Hale. 15 seconds. Hale to Bledson. Bledson looks, puts it on the floor. Now over to Hale. Hale gonna try and split that zone at the top. Unable to. Escape dribble, made him double clutch. Shot, no good. Rebound, they fight for it. Into the corner. Rosser, out of bounds. It goes to Norcross.
Tough shot for Bledson right there at the end.
I think he should have kicked that ball back up to Hale up top when he had 2 guys on him and step in 1-2 for the nice easy 3 right there.
Sturdivant, a long heave. It is no good. We are through 3 quarters. Gainesville has made their push. Norcross still holding a 7-point lead, 50-43. The 4th quarter is up next.
leader.
Because I like to punish people.
I think the big thing is just taking the right shot.
Just to embarrass people.
I'm a beast.
Do my thing whenever I'm putting on someone's neck.
My dogs will be the best in 4 years.
If your school's gym floor took a selfie, how would it look? In addition to new court construction, CBA Sports offers maintenance services that can help your court look and feel better. Visit cbasports.com today to schedule a consultation or learn more. Alongside me is Mario Mays, Lewis Preston. I'm Joel Hillsman. We begin the fourth quarter 50-43 and an early start of the quarter substitution. Norcross at home here in the House of Blue, in possession, all in white. Gainesville all in red, and it has been Norcross right now trying to finish off a wire-to-wire start. Both teams struggled to score there in that third. Gainesville won the quarter 11-9. Dalvin White, no. Tipped by Williams, I believe. Nope. Oh, it rolled in. They give it to White.
Tell you, Norcross did a great job of ball movement right there, which eventually led to penetration and the finish by White.
Buffen back into the contest. And now here comes Sturdivant. So the ref made Sturdivant take a seat. So it'll be Sturdivant, White, Williams, Boston, and topping the five on the floor for Norcross. For Gainesville, it'll be Buffen, Jared Rosser, Robles, Hale, and Bailey Minor. Buffen sidestep, float, hill of the rim, no. Got his own rebound, a jump ball, and possession arrow will go to Gainesville. Brent Kelly in.
It is amazing how Gainesville throws that ball up on the rim, and with their length, they're able to go. I'd be curious to see how many offensive rebounds they have, but I know it's in the double digits.
You know what? I think we just realized they did not change the possession arrow. Uh-oh. But the ball don't lie, is what they say. Now they did change it. Now they change it back.
Somebody over there got face planted with the ball.
Yes, they did.
You know.
That whole section down there is having them a joyous laugh. They're going to be talking about that on the trip home to dinner tonight.
They might get a call from Arthur Blank from Atlanta United.
Nice header. Driving is Robles. He was fouled on the move. The fouls now are going to be very vital. Gainesville is already over the limit, so Norcross is in the 1-and-1. Norcross now just picked up their fifth. And that was on Brandon Boston. He picks up his second. Brandon Boston, a 6'6" sophomore. A quiet night tonight, only 6 points. JoJo Toppin with 11 entering this third. Dalvin White with 12. KJ Buffen, who had a very, very big second quarter, has 17 in the contest.
It's really interesting right now with the momentum and everything. The crowd doesn't know which way to get into it and everything, because you keep thinking that Norcross is going to blow them out, and it's only an 8-point game.
Drive, kick back out to Minor. Minor, Butterfingers, ball goes into the backcourt. Kelly's going to pick it up. I don't think that was a backcourt. He tipped the ball. The ball was deflected. Oh, they're going to give it a backcourt. Wow.
And I'm up to 9 feet.
Yep, there's the 9 right there.
I'm up to 9 feet.
I think you really had 9.5, man.
Oh, they gonna mess up 2 more times for it's over with. I'm going to tell you that now.
6:42 to go. I think the crowd, I think you summed it up early, Lewis. They were stunned. And I think they still are stunned.
And it's a packed house in here.
Yes. They actually opened the vent to let some air in here. Only a few seats remain open. Here comes Sturdivant on a drive, goes up with the right hand and scores. Kyle
Gainesville's a different team without Buffen, Bledson on that back line. Now the driving lanes look a lot bigger for the guards from Norcross, as you see Sturdivant finish right there.
Our SUV TV instant replay. The fifth and final game of the On the Radar Hoops Tip-Off Classic. Central Gwinnett defeated Southwest DeKalb earlier today. Lambert, they blew out South Atlanta. That surprised me. Pebblebrook They beat a very good Meadow Creek team in Sandy Creek. They defeated Shiloh. Those are the 4 previous games here today at the On the Radar Hoops Tip-Off Classic. During this timeout, 6:21 to go. It is a 10-point game, 54-44.
Once again, I got to give Sean Williams a lot of credit for putting on another great event here at Norcross. Packed house. A lot of Gainesville fans came down. We already know the way the Norcross fans like to, support their teams. So it's a great way to end a great day of hoops.
And like you said, also, want to send Sean a shout out. Does a lot for basketball here in this state, and he's a guy that's helping to continue to grow the game here.
Yes, he is. Sitting back there behind the scores table. Straight chilling. And we are cooling out here in a 10-point contest. Norcross has led from the beginning. Bledson, left elbow jumper, did not get the roll. Tip, fight for the rebound, out of bounds. It will stay with Gainesville. Bledson has not shot the ball well tonight, guys. Although he has, he's only had 8 points. You're kind of like waiting for him to warm up.
He's had a lot of good looks, but he's made some great interior passes on the other side of that. Big
There's
three-point shot.
a three.
Big three-point shot.
7-point game under 6 minutes to go. Once again, you keep thinking that Norcross is up 4, 5, 6 possessions. It's really only 3.
I like to say they're keeping them at arm's length, just enough to stay away. It's down to 7. It got down to 6. Sturdivant drives, used the body, goes up in the air.
Great move by Sturdivant. Like you said, he's starting to recognize and see those driving lanes, and that's what good guards do.
Part of our keys to the game in the open. Pass, stolen. Sturdivant comes away with it. He's got White up ahead. He's got Lewis Williams up ahead. He's going to go all the way and roll off. Williams, rebound, lost it. Williams picked it up, put the dribble down, and a traveling violation.
That layup right there could have really almost twisted and turned on this momentum for Norcross. That was a big miss. Let's see if Games can capitalize on this possession right here.
5:17 to go.
That layup would have made me put Buffen back in.
Definitely. 5 minutes left from Buffen's.
Still sitting.
Still sitting.
Long three. Good. Hale. A big three. They have not shot it well today from deep, but they knocked that one in. Look at that. 56-50. And a steal. Here comes Robles. He couldn't get it. Now he saves it. Robles dumped it off. The Bledson layup. Good. It's down to 4.
Here comes Gainesville. Great job by Coach Wood right here to extend the pressure. And now the momentum is changing, and you got your big guy on the bench. Hey, if you can keep this momentum going without him in the ball game, keep rolling. That way you can save that extra foul that he might get.
We talked about it earlier. We talked about the spurtability of both teams, and now you've seen it come to light right here, a 5-0 run to make it a 4-point game. That layup that was missed by Sturdivant right there, which could have made it an 11-point game.
We talked about that.
Is coming back to be a little bit of a factor here.
Right.
From the Atlanta Business Chronicle, Virtual Properties Realty has more buy and sell transactions than any other real estate office in the Atlanta area. Visit joshmendoza.virtualpropertiesrealty.net to browse listings or add your property to their state-of-the-art search engine. 56-52, but the crowd again still just sitting and waiting. Not really sure what is going to happen, and it's kind of felt that way. Oddly, it had the feel of a big game atmosphere until Norcross raced out to that gargantuan lead that is now all of a sudden down to 4. Murphy up ahead to Eskridge. Eskridge, they closed out on him, cutting. Boston, foul line jump. No good. Rebound offensively by JoJo Toppin. Back out to Sturdivant. They'll reset it with 4.5 to go. Sturdivant worked on now by Hale. Hale trying to get a count on him and now does. Sturdivant gonna try to work on him, turns his back to him. Boston, open, a 3. Bang, he routed it right on down the milk crate. Brendan Boston.
Big shot for the young fella. Big shot.
Push the lead back out to 7. There's that arm's length. You get a little too close and push it just enough to keep you out there.
But once again, we said one of the keys to the game was the steadiness of Sturdivant backed him in right there, got that pass right there for a wide open three. He's the one that made that pass to make it happen.
Spins it over on the left. Now here comes Bledson. Bledson gonna drive, kick it back out. Robles, a deep three. No, rattled in and out. Tip offensively, out of bounds. Will go to Norcross with 3:56 to go. 59-52, 3:56 to go. Glad that you're with us. The SUVTV.com. Mario Mays, Lewis Preston. I'm Joel Hillsman in the House of Blue, and that was Caleb Murphy driving and scoring.
It's a great job by Murphy, coming down under control, uses his body to finish the bucket.
And I think you make a great point there, Coach Mays, under control, because he had been a little wild in his minutes out there tonight. That's a big hoop, and it forces a timeout.
Coach Wood didn't have a choice. He had to call that timeout right there to get Buffen back in the game with 3:41 left to go, down 9.
Exactly. This is a perfect time to insert your closer. And now we're going to see KJ Buffen get the opportunity to do what he does and try to get his team back into this ball game. Norcross has done a great job of handling the different shifts in momentum. Coach McMillan is, he's been in this business for a long time, so he's doing a great job keeping his team poised and getting these young guys through to finish this game.
I mentioned the lineups, and I love picking you guys' brain. Lewis Williams now, vital minutes, in a crunch time situation. What do you see basketball-wise of why he may be getting these minutes?
Well, I just look at his body. I think he's strong, and especially on the high school level, when you got a guy who's strong, and with that kind of mentality, that's the difference. It always helps.
Buffing, dunked it home.
As soon as he's in the ball game, you see what happens. Breakaway, slam dunk bucket. Let's see if Gainesville can change the momentum right now.
You know how most guys rise and keep rising when they dunk? He dunked on the way down because of those long arms. Driving, topping, missed it. It's a 7-point game, though, 61-54.
Once again, Norcross, last 2 times down the court, have kind of taken quick shots, not understanding that they have a 7-point lead. This is where you might want to slow it down, get an easy dribble penetration, drop down for a finish.
Yeah, Lewis, and Coach Mays, you made a great point about the toughness of Lewis Williams, who plays the quarterback position for Norcross.
And see, what a lot of people, I don't know if they really pay attention when you got football guys that play basketball. It's just a different mentality. They bring a different toughness. No slight towards guys who one way with just basketball, but sometimes the football guys get those extra rebounds and can kind of handle the physicality of the game a little better.
And with them not having size, I think that makes a great point that you make there. So that kind of helps that right there. Boston is back in, topping Eskridge, White, and Sturdivant. Eskridge, who comes off the bench. We have not seen Alonzo Johnson again. He's sitting on the bench showing no physical signs, but of course we saw the hard fall. Buffen, show the range. Badly missed, no good. Minor rebound, up nothing. Kevon Eskridge maybe gets the foul. He will. Kevon Eskridge. Bailey Minor, guys, he's on the back of a milk carton. Only 4 points today.
But you know what? He's always got his hands on that ball when you least expect it.
Minor free throw, good.
That's big right there. You're right. We have been expecting to see Bailey Minor bust out, but right here down the stretch, hey, free throws win ball games, and Gainesville needs everything they can get right now at this point.
Big free throws here, too. There it is. Knocked them both in. And sometimes a couple free throws will get you going, but Bailey will go out. 5-point game. Very much still life for Gainesville.
Look like Coach Wood is going a little offense for defense, Southern Minor out. Let's see what happens right here. Gainesville extends with the pressure.
Eskridge caught it as they broke the press. Under 3 minutes, 2:50 to go. White gonna drive. White floated up. Dalvin White, no. Boston tip, yes. Offensive rebound and second chance points.
Great job by White, though, just recognizing the driving lanes.
Buffen! Oh, you KJ Buffen.
Big-time players make big-time plays.
Yeah, he made that look too easy, though, Coach.
Yes, very. Corner, 3, Eskridge, no. Rebound, comes down to Rosser. Rosser up ahead, 2:20 to go. It's still a 5-point game. In and out dribble. Now kick it back. White gonna race in there, get the steal. White, all the way, layup. Good, Dalvin White.
That was tough. That was a tough turnover on the end for Gainesville. Very tough turnover.
We just talked about it earlier. You can't jump to make a pass, basketball 101.
Push the lead to 7, 2 minutes now. Buffen again turning and scoring.
Great job by Buffen, being able to turn the corner and use his body to get to the rim.
66 to 60. Bounces it. There's Toppin back out to Boston, and now here you go. They're going to be patient with it and give it to Sturdivant.
1:44 left.
A foul out by Hale.
KJ Buffen is reminding me a lot of what DeMarcus Simon was for Gainesville a couple of years ago. Just a great closer, and they know who to get the ball to in this moment. And that's what DeMarcus was a couple of years for Gainesville, and Buffen is stepping up and playing that role perfect right now.
I'm going to tell y'all one thing. I need to call the local private airport because KJ Buffin's taken off.
Yes, he has. 23 points. Free throw, rolls in good.
And when you really think about it, he's been in foul trouble for most of the second half. So
he had 2 in the first quarter, 2 minutes after getting off the bench. Remember, he didn't start, so these are bench points. 140. Sturdivant connects on both of them. Sturdivant picked it up now, 6 of 8 from the foul line. 67 to 60. There's that arm's length again. Gainesville uphill battle all night. Kelly, a 3, hill of the rim, no. Rebound, Boston gets it and gives it to Sturdivant under 90 seconds. Buffing now with 4 fouls. I don't think you want to do anything drastic there. Sturdivant all the way up, count it, and the foul. It's a score and one more for Kyle Sturdivant.
Well, we talked about it earlier. He was one of the keys for the ball game, and as you see right here, finishes strong on this end. Great job right here by Sturdivant.
We talked about that layup earlier that he missed. When he gets the and one here, and the Gainesville section says that's it.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't know why the crowd's leaving.
Yeah, I don't know. This might be a little premature now. I wouldn't count him out.
I'm with you on that one, the way Gainesville's came back on more than one occasion.
Couple long balls away from it, but they are now filing out. Sturdivant can't get the three-point play. Buffen got the glass. Here's Bledson. Bledson now to Robles, to Bledson, catch, fire, right wing, a 3, short. Murphy gets the rebound out of the guard spot. Up ahead to Sturdivant. Sturdivant gonna peel it back. And a timeout call by Norcross, a full timeout with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go, 69 to 60. And Norcross holding that 9-point lead, trying to finish it the last minute and 3 for a wire-to-wire victory.
Once again, you see that steadiness by Sturdivant right there. Could have easily gone in for a layup, pulls it back out, takes 10 more precious seconds off the clock, gives Coach McMillan a chance to call that timeout.
Veteran play by a veteran guard. Sturdivant, like we said earlier, very important. A key guy, made some big plays right down here down the stretch.
We'll revisit our Norcross keys of the game for you. Sturdy game from Sturdivant. Match the pressure with the pressure. And the Blue Devil depth. We didn't see as much of that depth, but right there, Sturdivant, 17 points and 13 of them here in this second half.
And once again, I always like to talk to people about, as a coach, how can you affect winning without scoring the basketball? Sturdivant has showed us that by his steadiness, and he still has a quiet 17 tonight.
I like to always think back to Derrick Rose's championship game at Simeon his senior year. No points, 13 assists, and they win the state championship. And he was one of the most dominant guards. I think he only took 1 shot.
That's like having 26 points, though.
Exactly, yep. You're sharing and caring.
Here you see Sturdivant finishing again, being able to get to the middle of the floor, take the contact. He's played a big ball game tonight.
Long 3, no good. Minor got the rebound. Buffing back up and in.
Buffen still fighting. Buffen is a special player, man.
And
special player.
Yeah, KJ Buffen, of course, going through some things off the court, but, you know, basketball can be that remedy. And like you said, special and playing with that heart, competing here to the very end, despite trailing by 9 and the gym emptying.
And a lot of time, basketball is kind of the medicine when you're having tough things and tough times you're going through. So a lot of these young guys use this game for just for that.
Well, I'll tell you this, guys. Tonight's been very interesting to me. I think Middle Tennessee State got a steal.
Yeah.
J.J. Buffen coming out of the state. And Dalvin White, we had him listed here, underrated. Tell you one thing, he gonna definitely, Coach Mack definitely gonna get a few more calls on him.
Somebody better get down here quick and try to make some noise and start grabbing this young fella because he can play the ball game, man.
And the thing is, I like to call Dalvin White, and you guys, coaches, to me, every time he shows up, let's see, tonight he's got 16 points. That's a little bit more than I normally see from him. Anywhere that 10 to 6, 10 to 4 range of points and assists, that's been what he's consistently been. I got to saw him play, on the summer circuit a little bit. He's a little different player, but just seasoned, I think, is the word, operative word.
I think you make a good point. And then on the circuit, sometimes your role kind of change from what you do on that summer circuit. And then when you come back and get into a different structure with your high school program, a lot of times young men, their roles change. But the good part is, whatever role is thrown in front of him, he seems to take it, accept the challenge, and just play basketball.
And that's the point I was making, because I saw him come off the bench on the circuit. And still the steady hand, here's a corner three, here's a dime drop here and there. It's just a little bit elevated here at the high school game.
And that plays to the point that you also have to be mentally strong for these young kids. A lot of people look at talent. Talent's great, but this game is 90% mental, man. 10% ability.
Another thing here, Dalvin is a great example of bringing the lunchbox, putting on the hard hat, and just doing what he needs to do day in and day out. To me, I look at him, he's kind of a stat sheet stuffer in regards to the things that he does, and it doesn't necessarily have to be points. He did a great job of being steady for the Blue Devils when Sturdivant was off to a little bit of a rough start.
Final 25 seconds, Zion. Now, I'm going to say something about him. Coach Mack got some good quality minutes from him out of this contest. Not a lot, but some solid minutes came in. Defensive presence.
I tell you, we talked about the depth, and he may not have had as many guys that normally came in, but the depth that he did bring in, they were effective.
Quality. These guys played some quality minutes for Norcross tonight.
Kevon Eskers again as well shot the three ball well.
I think he did a great job of starting a run for Norcross by hitting a couple three-point buckets.
Good situational three-point buckets.
It's been really good to see both of these teams tonight. Great thing about Gainesville, they could have very easily tucked it in and got ran out the gym, but it also tells you the foundation and the culture of both of these programs and the reason why they've been successful over the course of a long period of time.
And that plays to the point I made earlier, about the fact that these guys, I've never seen them quit. And like I said, this senior group has come a long way. It's their time. And we also got to remember, Norcross is really the cream of the crop in the state. So for Gainesville to step up a class and really give them everything they had, I thought that was a great valiant effort on the part of Gainesville tonight.
And I think another thing to point out, they had to play from behind as Norcross gets a wire-to-wire 74-62 victory. And when you keep looking up and you're down, you know that wears on you too, going back to your mentality thing. Well, the nightcap of the On the Radar Hoop Tip-Off Classic goes to the host Norcross, 74-62. They improved to 3-0 on the young season. Gainesville, in their season opener, they fall to 0-1. Lewis, any final thoughts either way on this one?
Final thoughts, I saw a lot of high school coaches in here trying to get some early scouting in. Some guys going to be spending some long nights trying to figure out how to stop both of these teams. Next thing to all you college coaches out there, you need to get in the seats to see these guys. A lot of depth on both sides.
I agree with you, Coach. Basketball is at its best here in the state of Georgia. We've had some the last couple of years. We had 3 McDonald's All-American, I think, from the state last year. and it's only getting better. So, like you said, I think some of these college coaches need to make sure they do everything they can to come out and check out this talent here in the state. Moving forward, you know, Norcross is going to play a very strong schedule. Gainesville also has a very strong schedule. I think they got Memphis East coming soon. So this is just a great opportunity for Gainesville to get tested early. Coach Wood doing a great job putting the schedule together, because down the stretch, that's where you'll see games like this, build them and make them ready for those tough moments when you get ready for the playoff to make that state championship run.
And once again, want to tip our hats to Sean Williams for once again putting on another great event here with On the Radar Hoops. Now I just got to go get my turkey, my stuffing, my candy yams, my mac and cheese.
It's about that time of the year.
It's about that time. We can have it on Sunday and Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Just to add to the validity of what we've talked about tonight, Norcross with 7 different players scoring, 4 of them in double figures. Sturdivant with 19, Dalvin White with 16. On the other side, KJ Buffen, 25. Didn't get too much help as Hale finished with 10 and Bledson with 10. So the depth of Norcross showed again.
And to add to that point, you got 4 kids that played in this ball game tonight that's already committed. You got 3 on the Gainesville squad. Bailey Minor going to University of North Georgia. KJ Buffen, of course, Middle Tennessee State University. And then you got Xavier Bledson headed to Lincoln Memorial. And then we just had JoJo Coppin commit to the University of Georgia. That's big. That's big for Georgia basketball to be able to snag one of the top athletes here in the state. So, like we said, basketball is big in this area. Everybody talks about football, but hey, you can't discount. You can't forget about what basketball is doing.
You
here.
cannot. You can't turn on a major college game there and not see someone showing out.
Yes. And somebody from the state of Georgia, I read an article, I think it's like from the Cobb County area, maybe 13 to 14 kids playing now on the Division I level.
Yep.
The talent is there. All right, the Atlanta Tip-Off Club annually recognizes the top high school and college players, coaches, officials, and administrators in Metro Atlanta and the state of Georgia. Join the ATOC, nominate players and coaches, or learn more at atltipoffclub.com. For Lewis, Preston, and Mario Mays, thank you for joining us. I'm Joel Hilsman. Again, the final score, Norcross 74-62 over Gainesville. We'll see you down the road right here on the SUVTV.com.